Virgo, this is your reading for the full moon on August 26th to the new moon on September 9 in Virgo. And we've just moved into Virgo season, so happy birthday to all the Virgos. I'd like for you to set aside anything that you're doing right now so that you're focused 100% right here. No multitasking. Take a couple of deep breaths and just tune in. Check in with your higher self and your guides. Make your connection there. And ask your guides and your higher self to connect with my guides and my higher self so that we can create a feedback loop. I've been preparing to do this reading all day, and I couldn't sit down to do it until I cleaned the house first. So I want to come with the right energy for you guys. Okay, Virgo, let's see what's going on. The first card out is your own card, the Hermit in the reverse position, crossed by the Two of Wands, crowned by the Moon, with Justice in the reverse at the foundation. There's a few Swords cards here. Okay. Naturally, coming into your birthday month, generally around my birthday anyway, I know I feel very contemplative, and it's a time to take stock of the year that's gone by and where I was then and where I am now. So I think with the Hermit in the reverse in the central position of the reading, at the heart of the matter, I think this is a time where you're feeling contemplative and taking stock of your journey as you stand right now from the last 12-month cycle. At the foundation of the reading, you have Justice in reverse, and the crowning card is the Moon. So that says to me that I think you are looking at your unconscious mind and taking time to kind of delve into the dreamy part of your nature, the part of your mind, your subconscious mind that is connected to the unseen world. Kind of feels like an extension of the Hermit in reverse here, as far as like you taking time to contemplate and to delve deeper into yourself, into your mind, to see what you have there to uncover. And I feel like the Justice here at the foundation in reverse it's kind of indicating to me that you are, you know, perhaps you're realizing how much you've maybe let your unconscious mind run away and create an imbalance. And you are looking to restore that balance now. The feeling I get here with the other surrounding cards is that there's part of you that really wants liberation, that you're really striving for a sense of freedom from your own, like it's almost, you know, like the prison of the mind, the self-imposed restrictions, the shortcomings that you've created by your own insecurities and your own anxiety and worry. And you know, there's, like I said, there's quite a few Swords cards in this reading, and it really feels like you are waking up to the fact that you've created those boundaries. You've created your own limitation and restriction, and it's a time for you to feel empowered by being able to take back some of the ways that you've given away some of your power and your energy. It seems like you're waking up to the fact that it's a decision that you are choosing to limit yourself in certain ways, and that it's like a sort of self-sabotage here that you're waking up to, and you've realized that you've created certain restrictions in your life, and that now is the time to really free yourself up from some of those self-imposed limitations of the mind. In this quadrant here, you have the Seven of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Cups. These cards are in the position of outcome, with the Nine of Swords also in reverse. So, yeah, to me, this is talking about you and your own kind of a revelation, I guess. For me, the Seven of Wands is about honesty, and it's showing up here in your reading as you. I wouldn't say this is some other person that's been dishonest towards you. This to me says that you are realizing that you've been dishonest to yourself perhaps, and that you've created limitations and anxiety and worry that has been kind of keeping you in a certain frequency of life, and you're ready to break free of those limitations by dropping all these swords, which are the ideas that you've held about yourself, about your situation, about people around you perhaps, but mostly, as I said, I'm seeing this, I'm not seeing the influence of other people here, I'm seeing this as you. And being that there's more information coming about this card from the Seven of Cups, this says to me that you are willing and ready now to take stock of who you are and really observe and witness and what's the word? Meditate on the person that you've molded yourself to be in your current state right now. And in this process, be willing to kind of let go of some of those things. The Seven of Swords here in the reverse position, that says to me you're ready to drop some of those old beliefs about yourself in order to invoke a newness, to bring into a new era of your life. It feels very much like you're at the cusp of a new beginning, and you are bringing in this new beginning by taking the time to explore who you are, who you've been, the kind of presentation that you've been kind of giving to the world. And some of that has been founded on certain types of ideas that you've held about yourself. And through this process of contemplation and diving into the unconscious mind to reveal to yourself some of these ideas that you've been holding in order to let go of them so that you can usher in a new era of you. Really beautiful. In the position of your hopes and fears, you have the Four of Swords in reverse with the Hierophant. Again, this says to me like you're ready to let go of some of those swords which represent the mind and ideas and thoughts, and bring into your being a much more genuine, powerful entity that is actually the true you. And sort of becoming this person is not about bringing in new things, but it's about letting go of old ones so that you can reveal. I hope this is making sense. It's almost like you know how powerful you are, but you've kind of been hiding from yourself because maybe you haven't been ready for the responsibility or whatever kind of idea of, you know, whatever you haven't been willing to accept about yourself to be true in terms of how powerful you are and what you're capable of. Perhaps you've been holding back a little bit, and you're kind of like accepting that you are actually ready for that new, and this new era of yourself where you're a much more empowered person and you're much more, you know, there's this feeling of self-authority with the Hierophant. Like you're kind of ushering in an era of your own journey where you are kind of much more in the driver's seat, and you have kind of there's this feeling of like being more connected and more empowered, but like having sort of a level of mastery over your domain. And I think, as I said at the beginning, there's this feeling of being at this moment now that you're coming into your birthday month where it's time to take stock and have a look at where you've come from in the last 12 months and where you are now, and maybe even look at larger cycles that take you back even further, so that you can just really reflect and give yourself kind of a bit of acknowledgement for how far you've come. But in doing so, it's also showing that you know that there's more work to do. But it doesn't have this kind of heavy, burdensome feeling. It's more of an excited feeling of like, I've come so far. Look at all the things I've done. I've achieved so much. I can't believe I'm here. And yeah, and I'm so excited for what I can do next, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is yet. I have no, you know, it's like this feeling of you don't know exactly what the future has to hold, but you know it's exciting because you're on the threshold of this new era, of this much more empowered person that's much more connected to themselves and much more connected to their true nature, their true magical, powerful, potent being that is like very embodied in the physical realm and has achieved a certain level of mastery and achievement that is something to be celebrated. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck you have the Six of Wands. That's kind of what I was just talking about. This feeling of victory and satisfaction and success. It's like this moment of like acknowledgement for yourself and how far you've come, and celebrating all the work you've done, because it's been a lot. You've come a really long way. It's a time to celebrate and reflect and just sit back and enjoy for a moment the fruits of your labor. There's this really beautiful, in this corner here, so the center of the reading is the current energy of the sort of the general theme of the current situation. And this quadrant here talks about you. This is your energy. And you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Two of Cups. Really beautiful feeling here this is kind of sort of a sense of like, again, sort of a mastery in the physical realm. The Pentacles represents earth energy, of course. And the Two of Cups here is like this feeling of like, I don't know, I think for some of you, obviously there's this feeling of like a really beautiful relationship that you're in currently, that you feel very nurtured by, and there's a sense of support and like a beautiful meeting. There's an equality there. There's a beautiful equality and a beautiful reflection in your partner that helps you see who you truly are. And you know, together you have enjoyment, earthly pleasures, you know, enjoying life together. Again, that's also something to be celebrated, because that doesn't come necessarily of its own accord. That's something that takes work to do. It takes work to have a healthy relationship. So again, this is kind of like celebrating how much work you've put in until now, and this is a moment for you to reflect and enjoy the fruits of your labor, and just enjoy. Now this quadrant here, you have the Three of Wands with the Eight of Swords, and these cards in this quadrant reflect influences in your environment or people around you. And as I said at the beginning of this reading, with the exception of this card where I feel like it's talking about your partnership, I see this as simply talking about you, and how at this point in your life where you're taking this moment to kind of reflect on how far you've come and where you are now, and kind of give yourself a moment to relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know that the next step is to take it further. Because even though you have come so far, you know there's more work to do. And that's the Three of Wands is saying, yes, we've achieved something. The three is like a stake in the ground. The Three of Wands is like a stake in the ground. There's a level of achievement and a feeling of having arrived at a certain point where there is some accomplishment. But you know that it's not the end of the journey. There's further to go. And I think the Eight of Swords here is talking about you acknowledging that there's still parts of your mind that are keeping you in some sense of some level of limitation, self-limitation. And this says to me that you're willing to look at those things now and start to delve a little bit deeper into your unconscious mind to reveal some of those thoughts and ideas so that you can release them. It's like bringing what's been in the unconscious mind, this sort of secret, quiet part of the mind and the shadowy parts of the mind into your conscious mind so that you can release them. It's the reveal. It's like, it feels like, you know that you're blindfolded, but you also know that you can take the blindfold off. And you can release yourself from this binding, because it's actually not really tightly done. You put it there yourself, and you can just as easily remove it. So it's quite empowering. Even though this card looks a little bit dramatic and scary, it's actually, in context here with the other cards, it feels really empowering, because it really does feel like you are ready to remove those binds and take the blindfold off and be more true to your real nature. Again, with the Seven of Swords here and the Seven of Cups in the outcome position, I really feel like you're willing to put some stuff down. You know you've been carrying this stuff around for a little while, and you know it served a purpose till now, but you know you're ready to let this go because it's not serving you anymore. You're ready to delve a little bit deeper and discover a little bit more, like what else is there inside of me that wants to have a little bit more of the forefront in the face of, like, in the way that I present myself to the world. Like, what's more my true nature currently? Because we have lots of facets. There's a lot of archetypes that we're all embodying, and at different times in life, different archetypes will have more relevance depending on what karmic lessons we're working with at that time. So I feel like you're ready to kind of delve in a little bit deeper and see what else is in here, what else is inside of me that wants to have some expression. It's not about putting on a different mask, it's about revealing, taking a mask off. And that's what these swords represent to me. It's like a mask that you've been wearing, that you're ready to remove. You're ready to put these down. Looks kind of uncomfortable carrying them like that. So you're coming into this. You're coming into the spread with the Sun in reverse. This is in the recent past position. And again, this kind of just says, I'm going to repeat a little bit what I said earlier about kind of using this moment of your birthday month to celebrate and enjoy how far you've come, and just take stock, review, take a moment to enjoy how far you've come, give yourself a little bit of credit for all the work you've put in. Enjoy life, enjoy pleasure, enjoy your body, enjoy being human, enjoy your partner. Just enjoy. The Sun is a very celebratory card, and even when it's in the reverse position, it's still very positive and still very optimistic and happy. So that's what you're coming into this cycle with, is this feeling of like, yeah, I'm celebrating my success. I'm celebrating how much work I've done and how far I've come. I just flipped over the card at the top of the deck here, and it's the Four of Cups in reverse. I'll take a couple more here and see what else is going on. You have the Star in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Three of Swords. Okay, so I guess once we get past this moment of like celebrating how far we come, and then we start to get into this work of delving in a little bit deeper, it could feel a little bit like you are uncovering some stuff that might be a little bit painful to look at, but you've got the skills to do it. It's not going to be like a drawn out painful moment. The Knight of Cups here is offering like support and optimism and love for the pursuit of happiness, like support and love and optimism, and I don't know how to explain that. The feeling's really beautiful. It's like, don't worry. I guess that's the message of the Knight of Cups here in this, beside the Three of Swords here. It just feels very much like, don't worry about this. is all good. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we had the Six of Wands already, talked about that. With the Strength card. Beautiful. Yeah. You've come so far. It's really a time to celebrate it and relax for a moment and enjoy and just give yourself the moment to have some pleasure and be feeling good. Spend quality time with your partner, but also spend quality time alone. And you know, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about you. I feel good with all these cards here. It feels very... There's this kind of feeling of maturity here that's like really beautiful, where you know that this work, like the healing path that you're on, it's not like you ever arrive at a certain point where you're done. You know that, and that's what I feel here with like these cards of Strength and the Queen of Pentacles, and even the Hermit, the Sun, the Hierophant. It's like that the healing journey goes on even beyond death. And that there's times where you might experience some pain and discomfort, but it's all part of a process of unfolding that's all one, all beautiful, and there's no right and wrong. There's nothing so traumatic that you can't heal from, that you can't glean understanding and wisdom from, and you know that all of it is for a higher purpose, and it's all for your benefit on a soul level. So Virgo, that's your reading for now. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again and lay a spread for your higher octave reading, which will give a little bit more deep information about what's the current energy at play here, and it'll help us understand perhaps more of like some of the deeper spiritual karmic lessons that are unfolding for you at this moment. So just take a couple of deep breaths while I shuffle and send your energy over this way so I can get really clear insight for you. You have the Hierophant again, and the Sun in the reverse position again. You have the Death card here as well. The Universe card, which in this deck is, the Universe is called the World card in other decks, in the Rider-Waite deck. You have the Hermit again as well. And Balance, which in this deck is number 8. It's called the Strength card in the other deck. So you've had that again as well. There's quite a few repeating cards here. So I'll go into this spread in further depth in the higher octave reading. If you'd like to know what these cards have to say, you can click through. The link will be in the description box at the bottom. And yeah, happy birthday, Virgo. We'll see you in the next cycle.